Starting on day 5, season 2, She Shoots. We got Jordan Ma in the building. What is good?
What's going on, man?
Hopefully everything is good. Everything is good. We are starting. We are starting. Episode 1. Episode 1. This is She Shoots, She Scores. Let's get into it. Jordan is going to talk about. Break it down for us, please.
So they released the odds for MVP for the upcoming WNBA season. Jambari, who is the favorite to win MVP this coming season?
I know the answer to this question, and I feel like this right now about it. I feel like hey, how you doing, Justice? Justice wins. Oh, I was gonna say Justice. Thank you, Justice Collins. Jordan, I was just telling Jordan about you, Justice.
Hi, how's it going?
Hey, Jordan.
I appreciate
Hi,
you for
Justice.
joining. This is how I'm feeling about it. I'm very excited. Jordan just asked the question about Caitlin Clark. We were just speaking about Caitlin Clark in general. What was your question, Jordan?
Well, okay, so they just released the odds for 2025 Most Valuable Player. Justice, do you know who's the favorite to win MVP?
No, I don't. I know it's probably between Caitlin and Asia.
Really? I guess
So
Fee. I'm crazy. I guess Fee.
I thought it would have been Fee also, but it's actually Caitlin is the favorite at plus 200. And then Asia is second at 235, plus 235, and Fee's at plus 400. So Fee's kind of a distant third.
Yeah, I knew it had to be between Caitlin and Asia. Like, you're going based off the media. They're definitely going to put Caitlin. It should obviously be Asia number one. You know, my gut wanted to tell me Caitlin, but I wanted to give them the benefit of the doubt. But obviously,
I don't. Do y'all think that's? I mean, I love Cece. I think there's so much expectations that people put on her way too soon, and it's like, it's just y'all setting yourself up for failure.
Based upon last year, it's not crazy to think that, you know what I mean?
Really?
She was fourth last year, right? And based on the body work that she presented in terms of just her transition and being able to produce as a rookie the way she did, I think it's not crazy for us to assume that the carryover into sophomore year, she'll be fine. And, I also was talking about this before a little bit on my live, was just, we haven't seen Asia and Caitlin all summer. For the beginning of the year. We haven't seen them at all. They've just been in the gym. That's all they've been doing is been in the gym. So I just, if I'm a betting woman, I think she's going to have a strong sophomore year. So crazy to think that she's going to be the MVP category? No, I don't think that's a crazy assertion. Just because based upon, now if she would have struggled her rookie year, then I'd been like, yeah, that's nuts. But just based upon the body work she presented already, I mean, what would have happened for her not to take another jump?
I agree with that. The circumstances are, so there's a couple things that are probably going to happen in this coming season. So there's probably going to be a little bit of voter fatigue for Wilson, right? I mean, she was unanimous MVP last year, right? And then when you look at it on paper, I think the Fever finished 500 or just like one game, right? Like they finished like 500, right?
Yeah, they're over 500.
Yeah, so I mean, there's a I think universal assumption that they're gonna win. I mean, they'll probably win another 10 games or so with foreseeable statistical increases. When you factor in that sort of narrative that is probably gonna happen, I mean, if you're putting money on it, I'd probably put it on Clark also.
Jordan, who is your pick for MVP this year? Just remind everybody, Justice and Mario, what's good.
Pick.
Let us know who was your pick for MVP right
Who
quick.
will be MVP? I think it will be
who was your pick for MVP?
Collier.
It was who? I'm sorry?
Napheesa Collier.
Okay, so how do we go from Napheesa Collier getting ready to hit a finals run last season, putting up arguably the second best season in basketball, and this is what we talked about last time, and this is kind of why I was surprised Fee is not number one. I'm like, okay, if Asia even takes any bit of a slight downturn from what she did last year, putting up 27-11 or 27-12, Fee is right on her heels, and like, I just don't see how.
But
Fee did everything that you could have did to win. She did everything that you could have did to win. It's just that Asia just played on another level. Like, she's gonna have to repeat that. because I'm like, how do you? And I love, again, y'all know I love Cece, but in my mind, it's like, how do we get from the best point guard in the league to the best player in the league in her second year?
Because it's media based. Like, you got to. I mean, anything that I say, I approach it not from what's right, because you're right. It should be fee based, but then I put myself in. But who's voting? You know, like, there's a sense of, like, even when you ask Jordan, like, you know, who's your favorite winning? I think it should be fee, but who's actually you think is going to? For some reason, they don't respect fee. I don't know what it is. They don't respect fee. So even if fee makes another finals run, builds on what she did last year, I think if it comes down to it, if the Fever finish in the top 4 and Caitlin has a solid year, they're going to give it to people are not going to have a problem voting for Caitlin.
I have the Fever finishing top 4. I have them finishing.
I have them finishing top 4 as well.
Well, it's also not like incongruous, right? Like, it's not like who I think is going to be MVP versus who the betting favorite
league thinks is going to be.
These are two different
conversations.
Yeah. Speaking
that's
of
why I always ask
go, please.
Sorry, I was just saying that's what I always, when people ask me, like, who's your favorite player? I'm like, who's my favorite player, or like, who's the best player? Because there's two different conversations.
So answer them both. I want to hear that question too.
Well, obviously A'ja Wilson is the best player, but Gabby Williams is my favorite player.
Okay, cool. Okay. We were just talking about Gabby yesterday on live. I
think Gabby's fantastic. I'm hoping for I don't think people in the W respect Gabby as much as they should. Obviously, in the international circuit, she is. So I'm just hoping, putting together a full season of her playing her best basketball, which she was last year, you know, in the international circuit, and, you know, the year before as well, that she's able to have that. Because that was the biggest gripe people had about Gabby, was just, you know, she's not able to carry over that in the W. Whatever she does internationally, she doesn't do that in the W. So, exactly. So I'm hoping
shout out to Gabby Williams.
Being able to put a full body of work together this upcoming season will definitely get her name in some well-deserved conversations.
I hear you.
So Caitlin Clark and the MVP conversation, is that really what the main topic was?
Yeah. Well, that was one of them. Yeah.
I did hear the Gabby praise. I was big on Gabby last season. Seattle picking her up. I thought that she would fit perfectly in that system. I'm ready to see what she does next year. I'm excited for her. For the Caitlin Clark conversation specifically, do I feel like the expectations of her being an MVP conversation next year is crazy? No, considering the fact that didn't she finish like top 5?
She finished 4th.
Yeah, she top 5 last season, so I don't think it's really crazy. I think that I don't know. Like, is it crazy for her to win it, considering Nafisa Collier and A'ja Wilson? She'll be competing against them. And what A'ja and Nafisa Collier did last year was just something that we had never seen before. A'ja was a dog day in, day out, every game last season, up until obviously she got kicked out in the playoffs, sadly. Nafisa Collier, for her to be second close to the season that A'ja Wilson had, I think that's phenomenal in itself. She won Defensive Player of the Year too. And then Caitlin Clark, I don't know how she holds up against those two names.
I'm with you.
I really don't. I can't see her winning a MVP over Nafisa or A'ja. Especially next season. I'm a huge A'ja Wilson fan. I'm going for A'ja getting another one. But I think if A'ja doesn't get it, I think that the second lock should be Nafisa Collier. I don't think it should be Caitlin Clark. I think it should seriously be Nafisa Collier. That's it. Because those two were the big dogs of the league last year. Can't nobody convince me otherwise. Yeah, that's just how I thought.
Yeah, she said it better. Like, she spoke for me. So I hear you on that. So let me go, please, Justin.
But I always go, should be versus what will they do? You know,
for sure,
because crazier things have happened. It should be Nafisa.
So let me speaking of crazy things. I guess we're gonna just shift gears quickly. I want to ask y'all this because we're getting ready to watch Paige a little bit later in a few hours, and we're getting ready to watch Angel in a few hours. I feel like, okay, just quick question. If y'all had to build between Paige, Angel, and Caitlin, like, I want to bring up the three of them because they're like one of the 3 most notable youngest players in the game. Obviously, you got Rakia, Camilla, Cam. You have a lot. If there's somebody else, I mean, I just wanted to ask if you had to pick between one of the 3 to build a franchise. Is everybody picking Caitlin, or am I?
No, I'm picking Paige.
Are you picking? Make the case for Paige, please.
That's so you know, Jambar. Wait, you ask this question every year, and I feel like
asked it
it's
about
just
Angel, and he flip flopped.
it's
At
so
first he said
like you
Angel.
asked
At
this
first he said
question
Angel.
just to trigger me to make me look like a flip flopper. But go ahead, Justice. Go ahead.
No,
Go.
I'm just saying I've been a big kind of Paige fan for when it comes down to it. I mean, we're building a franchise too. When it comes to like Paige and Caitlin, for
You want to build from inside out. I think like I would pick Dwight Howard over Derrick Rose. You know, like I think that just gets you closer to a championship. And for that reason, I would actually, of the three, start with Angel Reese. I think she's the worst of the three players, but just having an interior presence just gets you closer on a game that is not in the air. This is a game that's on the ground. This is a game that slows down to a grind in the postseason even more. And if you just look at like who are the three best players in the league last year, the four best players in the league last year,
Biggs.
you got Asia, you've got
Jonquel.
Nafisa, you've got you have
Stewie.
Jonquel, you have Stewie, you have Alyssa Thomas. Like inside
Big.
players will always get you closer to a championship than outside players. That's just the way. That's how it
The
works
W
in
for
the NBA
sure.
also. And from a roster building standpoint, just philosophically, I would pick Angel Reese, even though she's the worst of three players.
do you think that the WNBA, as of these recent incoming classes, is shifting more guard heavy though?
Yes.
That's
I
a
think we
great
are.
question. I think
Yes.
so, but not enough to influence how I would start a team. But yes, it is. It
Because
definitely is.
eventually, if you keep adding in guards, eventually it's going to shift. As in,
I was
think-
gonna
yeah.
say it's gonna make the bigs more valuable.
yeah, the top dogs eventually are going to be all guards.
You think?
I
mean, like I'm just saying from like a mathematical standpoint.
Oh,
If
okay.
the next 6 upcoming classes, that
Guards.
if we're going heavy guards, every lottery pick is heavy guards, and we're not feeding in bigs that look like Asia Wilson and Nafisa Collier and things of that nature. I think I think there could be a shift into who is the most dominant in the league right now. Yes, it's the 4s run the league. The 4s and 5s run the WNBA.
I think you're right. I think you're right, Justice. But what'll probably happen will probably be taller people or bigs that play more on the perimeter, kind of like a Stewie. Like it'll be, and then I think it'll be a lot more like switch heavy, like how the men's game is kind of becoming. Like I think it's gonna invert itself more like that, as opposed
more
to
hybrid
like
players.
yeah, more as opposed to like Citron or like not Citron.
Serena Sundell's like what 6'6", like a 6'2" point guard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think size is going to become like
Cheyenne Sellers is up there too.
Yeah, what is it? Whose roster? Someone's roster doesn't have. Oh, UConn's roster doesn't have anybody under what 6 foot on their upcoming roster.
That's what I was telling Jordan. It's only gonna get bigger and bigger. The women are gonna get just that's
bigger.
what I'm saying.
Like,
it's soon. It's soon enough. You're gonna see 6'4" point guards like normal.
I'll probably out of the three, Paige, Angel Reese, and Caitlin Clark. I think I'll go Caitlin Clark just because we saw Jordan pick Angel and Justice pick Paige, so I'm gonna go Caitlin Clark. I think that she's been able. We've seen her previously, prior to her even joining the league. We've seen her carry an offense, and now she's in the big leagues. She's gonna have way better players, especially with this specific roster that she has now. The whole roster is talented, from the point guard position to the center position, and technically, she's really the glue. Not the glue, but she's the, I guess, like the star or the stamp for this team, and I think it's obviously well balanced enough. Like if she was to have an off game, I think that the team could still win because it's just so good. But I'm gonna go Caitlin Clark. We've seen her carry a team offensively. She's carried her team to the championship with the right pieces. I feel like that in the long run she could win a bunch of championships. So I'll go Caitlin Clark.
I have a question.
I'll go for it. Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Tamaria.
When it comes to Caitlin, and Paige, who do you think has the better ability to draw in the free agents that you want? Yes, because my first thing is thinking about at Iowa, right?
That is a great question.
At Iowa, it didn't make sense to me how Bluter couldn't give Kate a top 5, top 3, knowing that she is this player and she is this generational talent, and we are this way. The math wasn't mathing to me, as in no top player wanted to come to Iowa, even if it is Iowa. That the fact that playing with Caitlin should have gotten them in the door from rip. So that was my first question: is in like, why can't she draw in the players that they need to obviously win a championship? And then we think back to Indiana. After the season that Caitlin had, I thought that they would have gotten some bigger free agents.
They got some big ones. They got some good
I
people.
mean,
They got some big ones. That's what I was gonna say. Even
Yeah,
this
I was
year's,
about to say.
like when we talk about the biggest free agents, Natasha Howard wasn't at everyone's top. Like
No.
top 7. Natasha Howard wasn't in people's top 7, and neither was DeWanna Bonner, and neither was Sophie Cunningham. Like they have solid.
I'm not a huge fan of it. Keep going.
but those are good. But
They're
for
good
what
pieces.
There's
They're
a
good
difference.
pieces. They're good pieces.
really good pieces to the
They're
point where
great
we
pieces who
could
know their
perceive
role.
them winning a championship.
That's true.
100%. They're
That's
good
how
pieces
big of pieces they are.
Yeah.
And she basically
who know their role
who did
versus
you want
the
them to
top
get,
free
I
agents
guess?
that were available.
That's what
Like,
that
there's the
was what I was gonna ask, Justice. So who were you thinking that they were trying to get or should have
Yeah.
gotten?
I mean, didn't
Like Satu would probably be an answer, honestly, Jordan.
yeah, Satu said up front she
I
didn't want to go
guess.
to Indiana. I was saying
Okay.
Satu said up front she didn't want to go to Indiana. Kelsey Plum, like the biggest. I'm talking about those. When I said the biggest free, those were the names I was thinking. Now, did those free agents fit into their system? Maybe we didn't want them and we didn't go after them. I think Indiana had a specific plan about what they were trying to accomplish. But I just felt as if they would have, because of Caitlin, had people banging down the door to get to Indiana, regardless of kind of the external factors, whatever the case may be. And so that's another conversation when you talk about building around who's going to be the easier draw.
So I guess, and now I'll go back to it. So before I even answer, so why do you think if you do think that there is an issue, why do you think that there is an issue?
I don't think there is. You tell me. I don't know if there's an issue.
I don't either. That's what I'm asking. I can only pick your brain on this one, for real.
No. And that was the question I'm posing, as in, why don't they want to? Why aren't people banging out the door to come play with Caitlin Clark?
But
I was surprised DeWanna DB ended up there. DB ended up there.
Her kids are close too, so like they were like an hour away.
But wasn't Alyssa in a trade, KP in a trade, and also Satu in a trade?
Satu was in a sign and trade.
I think
Satu was in a sign and trade.
They were. Most of them were cord.
Okay.
Yeah, Satu picked where she wanted to play at. Yeah.
They all did have and that's the thing too.
Yeah.
Everyone had a pick of where they wanted to go.
But I also think that there's something we'll have to see somewhat in the long run. It's still too early in their career, but the fact that Caitlin Clark done already been,
I don't year too, yeah.
Literally, like DeWanna Bonner, like
I wasn't expecting that at all.
Didn't Sydney Colson get traded, or was she a free agent?
She a free agent.
Like Sydney Colson, her leaving the Las Vegas Aces, ain't gonna lie, as an Aces fan, it shocked the mess out of me. And for her to pick the Indiana Fever, I was like, oh, I can't be mad at you, because it's like Indiana, they got the bar is really high because the people they were able to pick up this offseason. I think a big part of that was because of Caitlin Clark.
And I think just to add, I mean, if I had to build between the three, it'd be right now, and I hate saying this because I love Paige too, it'd either be between Angel or Caitlin. I'm like split on this one because defensively, Angel can do so much, and it probably is easier to build a team around a big, like Jordan said. But to Maria's point, which is kind of where I agree with, for me, it's like, if you just get 3 or 4 shooters around her, you already know what she can do, and that's with marginal talent. If you get her even just a fraction of someone better around her, I think it'd be easier for her to win and quickly, because you already seen it what she does. She's able to move the needle really quick. But just with the free agents that they brought, I think that they brought in players that wouldn't slow down from the core development of their big three. So you're not going to have anyone that's going to step on the toes of Caitlin, anyone that's going to take shots away from Malia, anyone that's going to take shots away from Kelsey. And these are like veterans that are like, can just boom, plug and play. I think that will shift, though, to your point, because I understand what you're saying, Justice, because I think it too sometimes too. I think that will shift as Caitlin gets older, and you're going to have younger players who may or may not have resentment towards her, and they'll want to see her win, and they'll want to go and compete with her. Versus, like, I think veterans and I don't know why, and it is what it is. Like, I think, to your point as well, I think not that people gravitate more towards Paige, but she just seems like she's less.
They little sis Paige.
Yes. There's less disdain, it seems like, for Paige than it is for Caitlyn. For whatever reason, I don't know what the reason is because they're both awesome.
I mean,
But it just seems like they're just little sis Paige, exactly. But I hope Paige sheds that too and starts frying them. I hope she comes out with the same type of energy Caitlyn had. I don't want her to just be like, "Oh, I'm embraced." Like, no, you need to go at them too. You need to go at them.
yeah, for sure.
So, I mean, that was that. I thought you had more to add. If not, we could just kind of move on.
No, I'm good.
All right, cool. So, I mean, I guess just to shift back because I do want to speak about Angel and Camilla, and then we could kind of like, what do y'all think needs to happen for the two of them to have breakout seasons? And then, in addition to that, what are your thoughts on the WNBA scheduling preseason games? Like, do you think that should be like a staple in the preseason or not? Preseason games like on college campuses. If I didn't make that clear, my fault. Oh,
2 years ago. 2 years ago, I was on live and I was talking, and this is this was last season, right after Las Vegas scheduled their game. And I go, everybody needs to do this. This is the smartest marketing. This is low hanging fruit. Everybody should be scheduling a game. If you have a big name rookie coming in, you need to be at an alma mater, and then you need to be scheduling it against somebody else who has a person, whether, from the other team as well.
Give us an example.
Thing. I mean, personally, I wanted just for the spice of it, I wanted to see Seattle and Las Vegas play at Notre Dame. Because we have Skylar, and then at that time we thought we were going to get Olivia. But we have Skylar, but then also you have the Jewel situation as well and Jackie. So I'm trying to sell tickets. I'm trying to sell tickets. So that's one. I mean, UConn, you can easily go Liberty versus Dallas. Like there's a plethora of players that everyone should be doing alumni games. If anything, I think that should supersede playing against, think smarter, not harder, they already are coming with all of these fan bases. You might as well capitalize on them.
Facts. Jordan, Mario, if you
Yeah, I mean, this is the next frontier. I mean, they're already trying to optimize and have more showcase games this season, right? Because they know sort of the value of their product now. I mean, this would just be sort of like the next step to capitalize on it, to sort of, while like the energy and while the eyes are still on it, to kind of see how everything's going. I mean, this is what the NFL does. This is what basketball does on Christmas. Like this is this is what they should do. They need to capitalize on the eyeballs while they're still active, while there's still interest, because just sort of the way that everything is scheduled right now is like we're kind of still in the not important NBA games. Baseball, we're in sort of the dog days of it. There's no NFL. Not a lot of people are watching hockey, and even if you do, you're still in the first round. So it's like this is like the perfect opportunity. There's no Olympics going on right now. Like just sort of like capture the zeitgeist of the WNBA right now, and because it's not being done, it's just it's just a wasted opportunity.
I thought that was a good point you made, Jordan, about like you bring up Christmas and how NBA has Christmas and stuff like that. I think that's a good direction or kind of comparison about like making a staple that people look forward to and that they know, like preseason it become a thing. Maybe people start looking forward to preseason games.
Mario, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna just add on to that too. So me, Jordan and I spoke about this. I think the WNBA should make the 4th of July their staple day
or something.
And I think that it's just them in baseball, and I feel like there is a market for basketball fans to just watch Caitlyn and Angel, Paige and Arike play on 4th of July. Stewie and Asia, Fee and Ka, like they can make that into their own Christmas Day type of thing.
They need a holiday game. It's a good.
No, y'all really said everything. Not much to add on that. Just try to do anything and everything you can to draw in more views. I think obviously that's the most important thing, especially with the players you got coming in. You gotta do what you gotta do to break in the money.
No, I hear you. So I'm gonna lead off with you. I'm gonna lead off with you with this question. So who do you feel like? So we're gonna move on to our next topic. Who do you feel like is the real finals threat to the New York Liberty this year? Minnesota, Las Vegas, or the Field?
You said Minnesota, Las Vegas, or who?
The Field, like anyone else.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna stick with the. Oh my God, it's tough. I think I'm gonna stick with my Aces. Just the addition. I know last year wasn't the ideal situation for the Las Vegas Aces with having Gray, be injured and Kelsey Plum and Jackie not playing up to the standard that we know that they can. But I feel like with even just having Asia Wilson and someone, and now you bring in a scorer in Jewel Lloyd. Granted, she's older, but bringing her in kind of alleviates some of that, some of the pressures for Asia Wilson. I think Jackie Young, not Jackie, well, Jackie and
Yeah,
Chelsea Gray come back playing. Sorry for the background. I think Jackie and Chelsea come back playing way better than they did last year. I think Asia is not going to have as great as the season as she had last year, but somewhat similar to last season. And I think with just that, I think that that's enough to compete for a championship, in my opinion. That's just me, though.
all the
So I'm going to say the
Aces,
Aces.
all the Aces fans going. There you go. Shout out to the Aces fans. There y'all go. She spoke for y'all. What are you gonna say, Justice, and then Jordy, you can go out there.
I was just thinking, and I'm like, Aces, what, first six strong, first six.
Who that? Jackie, Asia,
I mean, you got the four, Jackie,
Chelsea.
Asia, Chelsea. I think
Jewel.
Liz is going to be able to help them.
Who was that?
Jewel, Liz Kitley.
Yes.
Liz has just had a year to sit,
Good name.
simmer, to watch, to learn. So I think she'll be able to help. Now, where I think the Aces always
The bench.
the second wave. The best teams have a good second wave, and where
Mhm.
New York in New York and Minnesota are strong. They have a strong second wave. We know Minnesota didn't do, or it probably is not going to do a lot of movement with the roster. I hope the fact that they didn't do a lot of movement doesn't bite them in the butt. That kind of like with the Aces, where everybody got better. We didn't lose anybody, but everybody else got better. So I hope it's not that type of situation. And I honestly think the Fever are going to scare some people, depending on how this gels correctly. I think the Fever can definitely, because again, what I think about the Fever is that they have a team of people who know what they're good at and are here for a purpose. And when you have buy-in and everybody's locked in about why you are here, and from expectations and execution, that is a dangerous combination. So I think the Fever are going to now, do I think the Fever they won a championship? Do I think that they are good enough to beat New York? We'll see. But I definitely think that they're going to fear. I mean, if you just go bar for bar, like they fixed all the areas that were struggling. Like they were struggling in knowing about having people who have experience, what a championship looks like, what it looks like to get deep in the playoffs. They had nobody. That was Kelsey's first playoff. She's been in the WNBA. So that, and coupled with seeing how Caitlin takes this sophomore jump, and then again, you already know who your three-headed monster in, and then I put in some players. Sophie Cunningham can come off the bench. She knows what it means to be a sixth man, knows what she's here for a purpose. Natasha Howard, Dewana Bonner. I think Lexi Hull's going to take a nice jump as well. Like,
shout out to Lex.
Yeah, that's a dangerous combination that they got brewing over there. So that's why I think that they're definitely going to fear some people. Like, are they good enough to beat New York? Yeah, I'm not quite sure.
They good enough to beat Minnesota?
See, Minnesota's one of those teams that, like, since they don't have the shiniest pennies and, the biggest names, people, like, sleep on them and don't, take them as seriously. I mean,
K-Mac.
Yeah,
I know what she means. They don't have, like,
I know.
Even
like,
people disrespect Kayla McBride like it's their job. No one was checking
not
for
anymore. She
Bridget
balled
Carlton.
out and unrivaled.
Oh, yeah, she definitely put on a claim and unrivaled that people should put some respect on her name, but Bridget Carlton, like, we can go Atlanta Smith, like, these are names
Courtney
people
Williams, USF.
Courtney Williams.
Yeah. They don't got, like, when people say Jackie Young, people are like, ooh, Jackie. Yeah, when we say Bridget Carlton, they're like, who? Like, you got to look up, like, when did she get drafted?
Let me go. I'm gonna go get that. Sound for y'all. Who? I'm gonna go get that sound. Jordan, who you got? I hear you. I got Justin. I got some stuff to say about your picks too, because I feel. Go ahead, Jordan. I'll go.
I think. I mean, so the question is, like, who is the biggest
threat? Who do you think is the biggest threat to New York?
I think it's Minnesota. I mean, Minnesota came like this close to winning the championship literally last year. They took them to five games. It was close throughout. Collier was the best player in that series. I think they're gonna have this team has what I think will be the 2025 MVP. They've got a great supporting cast. They have the best coach in the league. I mean, they have. There's so many like superlative things about this team. Courtney Williams is like one of my best is one of my favorite players in the league to watch. McBride balled out and unrivaled. Like there's like Smith, she touched on Smith, Carlson. There's so many good things about this team that I think are great. I still think that New York is gonna win the championship, but I think Minnesota is the biggest threat. Because like New York also they still have Fibich, who I think was one of the top 25 players last year, especially in the playoffs. She was just incredible. And I just find the Fever might just be a year, like they're a year away, I think, because they have to integrate three free agents or three new players, and it's a brand new head coach also, so there's just a lot that they have to figure out. And it's not like the WNBA season is like that long. It's
true.
it's like it's not 82 games. Like they've got a couple months to figure this out before they're in the playoffs, and then it's like best of three, best of three, best of five. It's like there's not a lot of time to figure this stuff out, man. So for that reason, I think the biggest threat is Minnesota. I think New York's going to win. I think the Fever are a year away.
I think, okay, so for as far as my pick, I would probably honestly go with Minnesota as well. Yeah, I mean, I just feel like, to Justice's point, they don't have the shiniest names. Like, they don't have the biggest like names. I feel like you're right, Jordan. I feel like if Breonna Stewart just didn't go off that one game, we were doing lives together, they would have had a legit chance to kind of capture the title. The only thing I was gonna say about Justice's like stuff is just that when you're speaking about Indiana, I feel like maybe I'm being modest with their team. Like, I feel like a lot of people, I think they're a dark horse title contender, but I'm like, would I say that they're gonna win a championship? That's kind of, for me, I think about it like in steps. Like, they just got to the playoffs for the first time in like almost a decade. Can we win a series before we start?
Can we win a game? They lost 2-0.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's not hate. It's just being realistic. Like, can we win a series first before we can start saying like title? And then the question is, if they win a series and then they lose the next one, are they going to still be able to bring back the same people? If not, to kind of re-up and do it again. But I mean, a lot of people think they're going to MVP and championship this year, and I just think it's like a 35%, if it's on a scale of 100, like, chance of that happening.
They got to pull a LV, a Las Vegas in the bubble and get swept by Seattle. And so that next year they turn around and win a chip. They need one of those.
Yeah, I don't think that they at that. I mean, well, we'll see. Hopefully they get to that point, but it is what it is with their franchise. But they're doing what they need to do to kind of grow it. But what do y'all? I wanted to ask Jordan. I ain't gonna say that one. How do y'all think Kelsey Plum will either elevate the Sparks or like help their team? That's what I wanted to ask. How do y'all think? What are your thoughts about the Sparks? I like that team. I like that team a lot. I think they're gonna be really good. Especially if Cam were healthy, I would pick them to go a lot higher than they are now. Anyone who want to take that one away?
I think she's gonna get lost in the sauce. I just don't think much is gonna happen. I think that.
Do you think they're going to playoffs?
No, I don't think so.
Really?
I mean, I don't. I mean, if they do, they'll sneak in, but I don't think they're getting very far.
Really?
But, I mean, I just don't. I mean, what like?
I got them at 5 or 6. I got them at 5 or 6.
I think 5 or 5. I got them battling with Chicago
for 8.
See, that's what I'm saying.
I got Dallas battling for 8.
Dog walking people, but like they got some nice like.
I got Dallas battling for 8. I don't know about that one.
They definitely making the playoffs. I got them making the playoffs.
Yeah, I think people are.
Thank you, Mario. Appreciate you.
People are a little underestimating Dallas a little bit. I got Seattle higher than everybody else. Well, all those people. I think people are underestimating Seattle too, but specifically Kelsey Plum. Like, Kelsey had to play a role with Las Vegas. You know what I mean? I've seen people critique and say, I don't know if she can lead a team. I don't know. Like, you guys act like she hasn't been the number one option on a team before, which she all was in college. Like, she's proven that, like, balls in her hands, she can lead a team. So I'm not questioning that aspect of her being with the Sparks. But then I also think about the pieces she has. Rikia, She has her. She has De'Erica. Like, De'Erica's not a
Oh, you can
bum.
keep going. You can keep
Yeah,
going.
yeah. You got
Ray
Cam
Burrell,
Summerkey.
Azare.
I think Ray
But
Burrell is going to
De'Erica
put
had a career season last year.
who?
Like, I mean,
Who you said?
I'm De'Erica Hamby.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
You
sure.
know, like
She did.
that's
She
I
went
mean,
crazy last year.
like that was like the best year she ever had by far.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
to bank on a repeat performance of that, I think that's just
They
a
don't
lot.
need her to do that. They don't
But
need her to
not
do that.
repeat, but I'm
You
like,
got
why would they
Kelsey. They
take
don't need her to
steps
do
back?
that.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you.
why
They
do
got
they
talent.
They're doing
Okay,
well.
okay. So, okay, do you have him over New York?
Yeah. No.
Do
No.
you
No.
have,
No. No.
do you
But
have
we're
him over Minnesota?
No.
when we
No.
talk about I get my rankings, I got it groups, right? You got the
Right,
top dogs, the big dogs who like,
right.
and then you got your middle of the pack,
It's
and
the
then you
big
got the
three.
bottom of the barrel. You know, they're middle of the pack, as in
Yeah,
they
they're
make
six.
a
They're
game, they
six.
make a game on Minnesota
But
once in a while, but they can't beat Minnesota in a series.
No.
you
I
got
got
him
them at
at
6.
6?
I got them at 6. I got them
That's
That's
winning.
valid.
I'm more like
I
7.
think the team that a lot of people expecting to do something is Phoenix. I don't think Phoenix is gonna be
I
good this
think
year.
Phoenix is
See,
going to
I
do
don't think
really
they're gonna be
well.
good this year. I don't think they're gonna be
I,
good this year.
I think Phoenix is going to struggle.
I do too. I don't think Phoenix is gonna be good this year at
I'm
all.
unimpressed.
Their bench is
I'm so
disgusting.
excited. Oh
And
my
out of the
god.
big, I'm right with you, Mario. Out of the big 3 on after that team, they don't move me.
Because
I'm
That's
just
gonna
ready to see.
wow.
I'm
That's
just
a
ready
really
to see
good
what
big
these
3, man.
teams do. Oh my
I like
god.
Atlanta. I
It
like
can
Atlanta
go.
at
It can
5 or 6
literally
too,
go.
Jordan.
I'm sorry, say
I like
again.
Atlanta too, but like
I like Atlanta at 5
I
or
couldn't hear
6.
because
I like Atlanta at 5 or 6.
5 or 6. But like
Yeah.
Atlanta's one of those teams too where I'm like,
Atlanta
Jabbar,
was at 8. They
you
added
have 8
BG.
teams in your top 6. Like
No, I
that's
don't. I got
crazy.
Seattle at 7. I got Chicago and
you
Dallas
got
fighting for
Atlanta,
8.
Seattle.
I got Seattle. I got Chicago. I'm sorry.
It's
I'll tell you whenever y'all ready. I'll tell you my order right now. I got 1 at New York, 2 is Minnesota, 3 at Las Vegas, 4 at Indiana. Actually, I got Indiana, either or
Okay,
Indiana or Las
that's
Vegas
4
at 3 or
teams
4.
right there. Okay,
I know.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
5 is Atlanta, 6 is Los Angeles, 7 is Seattle, 8 is either Chicago or Dallas. That's
You
my
got
order.
Los Angeles in front of Seattle? How?
Wait, say it
But
again.
see,
Say it again.
like-
Say it again. Say it
You
again.
guys Los Angeles in front of Seattle?
Yes.
I think people
I think Kelsey Plum is.
underestimating Seattle.
I think
Bro,
Rakia is gonna. I think Rakia. We're gonna drop our top 100 list. Y'all gonna see that. I think
my-
Rakia is gonna hit. She's at like in the 40s to 30s. I think she's gonna get fringe top 25 before the end of the year. And I think that's the difference.
But see, my
So-
thing is with this is why I'm so excited for this season, because a lot of these teams, I feel like it could go either way.
Fact.
Like, I can see Connecticut being a playoff team, but I could also see Connecticut not being that great. I feel like the same with, I don't want to say Seattle, because I do think with the pieces that Seattle have, and then they bring, it's like not the same squad, but
Same
I want to
squad.
say it's almost the same squad outside of Jewel Lloyd. Now you getting rid of like the quote unquote distraction, I guess, and stuff like all of that in the locker room. And they're coming into this season. I know, like Skylar Diggins went crazy in that little
Facts.
unrival.
But she is. No,
She
she's
also
either
did,
the
yeah.
second or
But it's
third best
like-
point guard in the game. Skylar Diggins is so underrated.
That's what I'm saying. So like I could see Seattle could be a playoff team, but like I don't. It's just like that's why I'm so ready for this team, because like I feel like every day near outside of like the top 4 teams, I feel like it like that.
It could
That joint just don't be
any
like
order.
any team.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's just I'm so ready.
where Seattle has a lot of, I think, above Atlanta, above LA, is we already have proven and we already have chemistry and we already have that vet
That's true.
experience.
That's true.
So NECA, we're not gonna play in NECA's face because she's still one of the top 4s in the
She
league.
on my fantasy team. Facts.
Skylar is, like we just said, one of the best point guards. We already
sure.
established Gabby Williams is hurt. Ezzy,
Yeah.
I think, is going to have a great defensive year. Owen Lee LaRue, who's going to come in, hopefully. I don't know if they're going to
Where do you have them at?
3 center. I personally got them at like 5.
I got him
So
at
that's
6.
that's 2 spots away. I had him at 7. That's 2 spots away. I'm not like that's not too
Chemistry,
far
I
off.
think chemistry, and that again, chemistry is what is, and that's honestly, I think, what held them back. Because don't forget, at the beginning of the season, we were talking about Seattle. They were on that 6-7 game winning streak, and we were talking about they're going to be dangerous come playoffs.
That's true.
And then a lot of stuff happened behind the scenes, and you don't realize how when people are checked out, they're checked out. So,
Yeah.
like coming in, you got people again who are bought into what we have going on. You know, all the play, everyone who stayed is still rocking with Noelle Quinn. Those are, you know,
Right.
Which is crazy. She's the only African American woman head coach in the game.
They
That's
couldn't hire her.
crazy.
Yeah, they couldn't fire her.
Crazy.
They might have wanted to if they wanted. And here's the thing: Seattle has to cook this year because this is Noelle, baby. This is her. She gonna have to make something shake this season. There's no rebuild. Everyone's like, Seattle's gonna rebuild. I'm like, there's no time for a rebuild. This is Noelle Quinn has to prove something because you've been head coach for like 4 years. You didn't win when you had Stewie. You guys were trashed that 1 year. You went through all this drama with Jewel. Like we're on our last leg right now. So yeah, Seattle, I think one is being slept on, but two has all the right pieces to be successful.
Preach.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. I agree with all of that, man. Them. I think Phoenix is also being slept on, man.
Yeah,
I can't believe that. Why? What Phoenix? Like
they
you
have
don't.
nobody outside it. Name anybody outside of their
That's a
big three
pretty good
without
three.
looking gun to your head. Name the rest of their 8. Name the rest.
Who cares? Those 3 are amazing.
Team gonna give you what 12? Who else is scoring? But Kai's gonna have to put up 40 a night.
So Satu, AT, and Kai gonna have to score 60
I'm not
combined
sold on
for them to have a chance.
I believe.
I'm not sold on
I'm not
Satu.
super sold on.
I am. Whoa, hold on. What?
I'm sold on Alyssa Thomas. I think Alyssa Thomas.
I'm sold on Kai.
It's still one of the
sold
best.
on Satu.
It's like still one of the best 5
What
players
have
in the
we
league.
seen glimpses? She hasn't had a healthy season. Like
Everybody says that. But when she's healthy, she's first team all WNBA. He
When
also is
she's
one.
healthy.
He's on your camp with this one too.
if she's healthy, when she's healthy, haven't seen healthy. So like, how am I going to put money on somebody?
Yeah, this is but
I have her.
I
I ranked her at like top 10 player in the game right now, straight up. I got her at 10.
In some people's lists, they have 3 of the top 10 players.
Yeah, they do.
In the whole league.
They do.
Some people's lists.
He's trying to be funny.
Huh? Were you guys impressed with Satu and Unrivaled?
She has South Beach flu. South Beach flu.
South
Beach flu. South Beach flu. No. That's being on South Beach too long, hanging out, chilling with Jimmy, all of that. South Beach flu.
Chilling with Jimmy.
I don't know that for a fact, Satu. I'm just saying. Well, she was hanging out with Jimmy. She was hanging out with Jimmy.
Jimmy's gone, man. Jimmy's not.
At the time, her and Aaliyah Boston chilling with Jimmy. You've seen some of the ones that had South Beach flu. Like it's straight up. You've seen some of the ones that had it.
That was a couple months long flu. That was COVID.
They chilling in Miami. Some of them were. Unrivaled was a great league. Shout out to Unrivaled. Because I don't want y'all to think that I'm saying like I'm bashing it. Like that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying like you're in Miami, you're enjoying yourself. You're not in the W right now. Like it's okay. Like go enjoy yourself. Y'all young people. Go enjoy y'all lives, man.
I'm gonna have to see it. Satu coming out giving me 20, averaging 20 a night. I just don't think they have enough offense. Even with say Satu does average 20. Alyssa Thomas is giving me 10, 10, and 10. Where's the rest of this offense?
I'm right with her, Jordan. I don't know
if she gets 10, 10, and 10, she got 10 assists to 10 randos, and that's an extra.
It's to the 2 of them.
She's passing the concept too.
Right.
I would take that over this unproven Los Angeles team.
Oh no, I wouldn't.
Los Angeles isn't unproven. They got Dearica Hamby, 2-time 6 Women of the Year.
But she did it. She did it 1 year though, like one superstar year.
She had an all-star year last year. Facts.
So there's 3 years of body of work. You're betting on someone, Satu, who hasn't put together any body of work besides most improved player that 1 year. We got Kelsey Plum, 2 championships. She's going to be a Hall of Famer. Rickea Jackson, arguably, if she would have played before the beginning of LA, would have been in the conversation for in my opinion, if they would have utilized her correctly, they would have been the conversation. Cam, I was talking Cam first team WNBA until she blew out and give it, considering all the fouls that Cam gonna use all 5 of them fouls and some. Like what?
Do we save these videos? Do we save these? All right.
We'll revisit this.
We're gonna revisit these every quarter of the
season.
I got them at 6. I promise you, they're going to the playoffs. I don't know what you're thinking, but
I got them just outside.
They're not gonna miss the play. That's gonna be Jordan. They're not missing the playoffs.
Kelsey Plum is a competitor. Like
they're not gonna miss the playoffs.
You can say whatever you want about Kelsey Plum. She is a competitor, and I think she is oozing at the mouth, like jaws clenching, licking her lips at the opportunity that she gets to be the number 1 option in front of the team.
So what kind of season, if you had to put stats or like how
KP
many
for
wins
KP.
do you predict Los Angeles wins, and what kind of season does Kelsey Plum have?
Kelsey putting up at least 18 and 6, I'd say.
Isn't
18
that
and
what she
6.
always puts up
Second team
anyway?
WNBA.
But she didn't put that up last year, no.
I think she's good enough to do second team WNBA.
Well, do you think she'll make it? Is that what you're saying?
Second team?
Yeah.
Yeah, LA's her team. She
We
said
need
don't
to
even
talk
talk about last
that.
season.
We need to bring that up.
Yeah, she said don't even talk about last season. Don't even ask me nothing about last season. There ain't nothing we got going on here. She's been in the locker room. She knows what a championship. She knows what it looks like to win.
And she's best friends with D.
And she's a competitor. Like Kelsey
Dog
Plum.
class.
Hey, come with get with the program, come with it. And you know what I'm saying? And she understands also, I think, the role of why she's here, you know? Like I could stay with Las Vegas and got another chip if I really wanted to. You know what I mean? Like obviously I think
I think she's a competitor too. I think there's just a lot of competitors. There's a lot of competitors on non-playoff teams, and they're just going to be one of them.
Who's really dogged off the case? Like again, go bar for bar on some of these rosters.
Bar for bar, boss. Go bar for bar with LA and Phoenix. Go bar for bar right now.
What guard? Ka versus KP. Ooh.
That's Ka. Keep going.
Ka's giving you 30. Like I'll give
Satu versus is Satu. Alyssa versus Alyssa.
I'm taking De'Erica over Satu. I'm so sorry.
I mean, I would too. Shout out to De'Erica.
You guys know that's not really how like it goes. Like you go like player for player.
It is though, Jordan. The three of them are not going to play 40 minutes. So when you sub the three of them out, continue with the rest of the bars. Rakia, Azrae, Ray.
LA has a stronger bench.
Of course they do. Then you got Sanaya off the bench.
Ari McDonald is locking up anybody else.
Ari McDonald. Shout out to Ari McDonald, one of my favorite players in the W2.
Ari McDonald is locking up
Odyssey Sims. Korean barbecue. Jordan, come on now.
I know.
Come on now. A bunch of people on Phoenix.
Come on now.
This is their first time in the WNBA. This is their first time making a run. Go look at who they have on training camp. They got 6 players.
Hey,
Justice, he'll learn. I'm looking right at it. This is 1, 2, 3 Cancun.
Natasha Mack. That's who you put your faith in. Kalani Brown.
I'm looking right. I'm looking right at it, bro.
Phoenix has 6 players that are guaranteed on roster. I'll give them that. One of those players I have never heard. No, is the one of those players I've never heard of. That she's on a protected contract. I've never heard of her. Then you got Kalani Brown. I love Kalani. Has never played
Dallas Wings
in a major role within an organization. So unproven. Love her, unproven. Then you got everybody else who's on training camp. Never been in the league. First opportunity.
They didn't fill out that roster, boss. And then if they kept BG, I'd be right with you, Jordan. I say they top 4. If they had BG, I wouldn't even care who else on that roster. But they didn't. So it is what it is.
We don't even know. Like, I can look at most of these training camps and be like, they're going to go with this person. They'll probably go with this person.
They're picking everybody. They waiting for preseason games. They waiting for they waiting for the preseason games.
Hey, anybody's game. That's what I'm saying at Phoenix when I look at their training camp.
Speaking of games, let's do closing thoughts. Jordan, if you want to go first, and then Justice, and we can wrap up because we all gonna watch this Paige game in a minute.
I think the most important thing is going to be, I just wonder how this CBA negotiation is just going to kind of.
We could revisit that. For sure.
This is the most interesting. We've been talking about this for a year, Jambari. We've been talking about this for literally like 12 months.
We talked about it at the draft too.
How this work stoppage thing. I mean, I don't know, man. I just don't know what's going to happen. There was a report that they were trying to be aggressive in negotiations. The league or the player? Well, I mean, obviously both sides are, but I mean, the players are trying to, because they do have more leverage.
Yeah,
they should be, and that's good for them. It's just, I just don't know. What was that?
The WNBA is cheap.
Kathy, they hold on to them coins, but the proof is in the pudding. The WNBA was the fastest growing brand in the world last year. Not just in the world.
Come on. Come on now. Come on. I mean, come on now.
In the media deal, if everybody did their jobs correctly and they put people in the WNBA who cared about the organization and invested and was excited about the brand and building the league and doing their job correctly, we wouldn't be having this conversation. They need to go hire everybody who was with Unrivaled, because Unrivaled, I think the difference is that they had people in the rooms who cared about the product. Therefore, when there was an investment with the product and the players and what we had going on, you see the end result is positive. Now, if the WNBA, who has a much larger budget, who has much larger resources, was able to take that energy and that excitement and put it, they got people in the rooms who don't care. And we see it time and time and time again. Now, they listen a little bit. We have every single preseason game broadcasted. Thank God we're not watching on Instagram
On
Live this
TikTok,
year.
yeah.
But like,
Shout out to
damn,
Allie.
well, like, what are we asking people, giving us crumbs here? So yes, the players understand their worth. They understand that, again, when we talk about NCAA, we're talking about the biggest names in women's basketball, not the biggest names in men's basketball. They're talking of the household names: Hannah Hidalgo, Malaysia Full-Wiley.
Come on, Hannah Hidalgo, one of my
We're
favorites.
talking KK Arnold. Like, who has the biggest some of the biggest NIL deals? It's women's basketball players specifically.
But did you guys see that report in Sportico how how there's only like 42% of the revenue that kind of trickles down to the players eventually, and then when there is an expansion of a couple of teams, the player, like the per team shares, get diluted from 3.5% to 2.8%. 16% equity is just gone to that consortium of investors. And some of the players, I mean, not the players, some of the owners like double dipped as NBA owners and WNBA owners.
Yeah.
But a lot of them, even in the expansion fees that they're getting for expansion, those owners aren't getting a piece of that pie. So I agree with everything you're saying, Justice. I don't think it's going to work out. I don't think they're going to win.
They're going to have to. Them percentages
Then
going to
go
have
to
to change.
Unrivaled. It'll go to Unrivaled. That's all right.
They're going to have to change them. But here's another conversation to think about. When does Unrivaled become a threat to the WNBA?
When they get Caitlin in Asia. The end.
When
Was
Unrivaled starts
once they get the two of them.
Was it profitable?
Internationally, because Unrivaled talking about getting international players, they're talking about, you know what I mean? More people are excited. So when does, like, the big three, when does the NBA go, hey, okay, you guys are getting a little too big for your britches over here, you know what I mean? Now you're stepping on our toes. When do people start saying, I'm making $150,000 Unrivaled?
Right.
My WNBA salary is like $70,000. So when people start, I think it starts when people start opting out, if they do, for the WNBA, which is Unrivaled's a much shorter season.
Right.
Murray Burrell made 10 times her salary
and she was in Miami.
In Miami.
Do we know the financials for Unrivaled?
They broke even.
They broke even.
They broke even. They broke even. They broke even.
So it wasn't super successful then if it broke even.
I mean, that's not like.
But then again, there are startup costs, so
right.
eventually it would become
right.
So like probably like a couple years then. Yeah.
Again, if they get Asia, CC, I think it's over. They
got paid. And we're gonna see what Paige does.
The contracts are gonna go crazier. So
bigger
I hope so.
Let's wrap up and then well, Justice, if you had anything more to add, I mean, I was getting ready to sign out.
No, I'm good.
Thank you. I was just about to say thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us.
I love a good Yap session.
Shout out to Maria too, Jordan. I appreciate y'all. Yap session, episode 1, season 2. She shoots. Go Mercury. Hey, we should let's put something on that. Speaking of which, let's put something on that then. If you want to put something on that.
Okay, who finishes higher? Who finishes
higher?
Sparks.
I got the Sparks.
I got the Mercury.
I got the Sparks finish higher than the Mercury. I'm sorry, I'm trying to find the game.
Girl, you taking out dinner. I'm getting ready to put it on Amazon. Dinner date.
Okay, it's on Amazon.
That sounds good.
Get ready to pay, boy. I'm running them pockets.
Oh my god, freaking!
I'm running them pockets. You know I like to drink. We running them pockets.
Seafood towers.
Hey, Chili's is fine with me. Chili's, we put it on Chili's. That's simple. Chili's. Yeah.
Good, man.
All right, y'all.
Good.